Esperanza to present how to prepare Chile Relleno, a classic Mexican dish created 100 years ago to celebrate the Mexican flag, green, red, and white. So this is the best cook in Mexico, in my opinion, La Señora Ana Aguayo. And this is her recipe. We've been working together for a number of years, and she speaks Spanish mostly, so I'm going to translate. We're making our tomato sauce for the rice. So we use 4 large tomatoes or 5 little tomatoes, put them in the blender with about 1/4 of an onion and 2 teeth of garlic. And then you blend the whole thing together. Now we're going to continue the rice. Remember, you prepare an hour earlier by washing it and letting it dry. In Mexican cooking, they always fry the rice before they cook it. So we're going to go over to the 1 little piece of onion into the oil. Get around. So it gets a little bit of that onion flavor. Now, rice? Okay. Now we'll add the rice. And now she's going to fry the rice. Just keep moving it back and forth until it turns a light brown, like a honey brown. At that point, it's ready to add the liquid. Welcome back. She's just fried the rice. It's a slight honey color. You can see that the color has changed. Now we're going to add the tomato mixture, and we're going to let it boil for 2 minutes before we add the salt and pepper and the rest of the water. So we add the tomato sauce. We're back. The rice has been boiling for about 4 minutes with the tomato sauce. At this point, we add a teaspoon of, half a teaspoon, of pepper and a full teaspoon of salt before we add the rest of the water. We're going to add 3 more cups of water, and then we're going to just let it, just going to mix in that salt and pepper. Oh, we have to measure them. Okay, so we're going to measure 3 more cups, please. 3 cups of water. In addition, 1, 2, 3. There it is. Okay, so we're going to bring it to a boil, leave it on medium heat, and it should take about 15 minutes to cook the rice with the tomato sauce incorporated into the rice. Okay, now while the rice is cooking, we're going to start with the chilies themselves. The really interesting thing about cooking with chilies is you burn off the skin. You put the chili right on the fire. First you add a little oil all over the chili. Then you're going to put the chili right on the fire until it gets black all over. When it gets black all over, you put it in the plastic bag, hot. Seal off the plastic bag, and it sweats. It sweats the skin off, and you let it cool. So, let's show you the technique for charring the skin of the chili pasilla. Oh, poblano. You can also call this chili poblano, the large dark green chili. If it's not black, it will still stick to the bottom.
Tenemos lo que es la piel, que no se nos vaya a quemar mucho porque si no se nos va a deshacer nuestro chile. Ya estando así lo vamos a meter a sonar a la olla.
Into the bag. She said don't burn it too much. And then we try to close the bag to keep the heat in so it will sweat off the skin. Here's another chili. Okay, now we're going to continue to make the tomato sauce. Our chilies have been charred and are in the plastic bags sweating their skins off. You have about 10 minutes to prepare the tomato sauce. So this will include about 7 tomatoes, half of an onion, 2 teeth of garlic, salt, teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper, 2 leaves of laurel, and to mix it, it will take about 1 cup of water, and then when we're going to cook the tomato sauce, we'll add an additional 2 cups of water. So that we'll just use our handy dandy blender once again, the #1 equipment of Mexican food cooking, and we'll add all the ingredients in here to blend them. Just a quarter of an onion. That's it. ¿Sabe pimiento, no?
No, ya es cuando está.
Once again, you don't add the salt and pepper until it starts cooking. So you mix it up.
Esta la vamos a moler, nada más que quede como martajada, si no, no se va a moler por completo para que...
Okay, we're just going to blend this lightly. You don't mix it too much. It should still be slightly, tiny bit lumpy. That's it. Now we're going to cook it on the stove. Okay, we're going to start cooking the tomato sauce. We put in about 2 or 3 tablespoons of oil first in the pot.
Y vamos a freír nuestra salsa, le vamos a echar un poquito de harina para empezar. Ahí tenemos nuestra
She adds a little bit of flour, 1 tablespoon of flour to make it una cucharada o
Sí,
cucharita.
una cucharada de...
1 tablespoon of flour to give it a little bit of thickness. So here we're going to add, ahorita lo echamos. Oh, first you have to cook the flour, like you do in French cooking to make the roulade. Cook the flour. When it starts to thicken, then it's more or less ready.
Y ya añadimos la
Esperamos que
en cuanto se deshaga la harina, porque si no se nos puede quemar la harina.
Okay, you just wait until it dissolves and separates the flour, and then you add the tomato sauce.
Vamos a esperar que hierva.
We're going to wait for it to boil. Once it boils, then we add the salt and pepper and the rest of the water. Our tomato sauce is now boiling. We can add the salt, una cucharita, a little teaspoon of salt, and we'll add the pepper. Remember, pepper makes all tomatoes taste good. Very important ingredient. There's the pepper. Now, once that is mixed in, she's going to, the laurel leaves are going in. And we just add more water at this point. Dos tazas. 2 more cups of water to the tomato sauce. Okay, we're gonna let it boil for 10 or 15 minutes on a low heat. While it's boiling, and hopefully our chilies have cooled off a little bit, we're gonna try to take the skin off the chilies with our hands. Here we are taking the skin off the chili. You do this with your hands, your fingernails, until you get the black stuff off. This is the skin. We're scraping off the skin with our hands. Sometimes I like to use a little knife too. The real Mexican way is to use your hands. You can see there's a little bit of work involved, but it's fun. Not complicated. It's almost the same color as the Mexican flag. It's dark green. The chili castillo. Okay, we've taken the skin, all the black charred skin off. Our chilies are now very flexible. We're going to slice them open and try to pull out all the seeds as well as the veins. Pull the vein out as well. The seeds are very spicy. Chili seeds. You can also use your knife or your spoon to try to get the seeds out. It's important to get the seeds out. Once the seeds are out, then you can put the cheese inside the chili. We're filling the cheese. Remember, Chile Relleno means filled chili. So, okay, she's putting 2 pieces of this Monterey Jack. You can also use Oaxaca cheese. Okay. She put 2 in, and now she's going to close it with a toothpick so it doesn't come apart. Like you're sewing. You sew the 2 pieces together. There you go. You see the toothpick is in, the cheese is inside, and we do that for all of the chiles that we're dealing with. After we get rid of the seeds and the veins, of course. Okay, we finished taking off the skin and then scraping out the seeds and the veins inside the chili, and then putting 3 pieces of cheese inside the chili and closing it with a toothpick, making sure that it's closed. The next thing we have to do is put it in flour. Roll it in flour. We do that for each one. And we make the egg coating. Okay, we separate, usually if you have one large egg for 2 chilies, but we had extremely small eggs here. We beat the egg whites until they have peaks. Yeah? Okay. Now we're going to add the egg yolks to the beaten egg whites. We're going to use 3 of the egg yolks here. Four? Okay. 4 egg yolks. keep that in. Salt, pepper, sal y pimienta. Just a little bit, not too much. We don't need our stiffness. What we call a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. This is what we're going to coat the chilies with. Let's coat that while go ahead. Okay. I'm gonna put some more flour on these guys. You do it right by the oil? Okay. Lo que vamos a hacer es, as soon as you put the egg coating on, you put it into the hot oil to fry. Now she's going to dip the flour chili into the egg. Nice thick coating all around it. You put it into the hot oil. And we'll be cooking this on all sides in the hot oil. It's like about a quarter of an inch. It's only like about half a minute for each side to fry. Because after it fries, then we're going to put it into the tomato sauce to further cook. Okay, she's trying to get all the sides cooked. Splashing up the oil on the sides to get a little bit of extra. And then when you take them out, you put them on some paper to drain off the excess oil. Before you put it into the tomato sauce. Right in the tomato sauce. This is already melted. Two more. The final step for these chilies. And we let it cook for about 2 minutes so that it's so. We're back. The chili rellenos have been cooking in the tomato sauce for about 3 or 4 minutes. The rice is perfectly done, nice and fluffy, and we're ready to serve. First we'll put the rice. Next we do one more chili. And then we add the tomato sauce on top of the chili relleno itself, and if you like it, you can also add it even more on top of the rice. And there we have a classic Mexican dish prepared in Mexico with a chili relleno and tomato flavored rice. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you have fun making this recipe in your kitchen. It's absolutely delicious. One of my favorites. It's economical, it's no gluten, and it's vegetarian and even vegan if you use plant-based oil. Delicious chile relleno lunch. Buen provecho. Bon appetit.